G'day guys, welcome back to the Aussie Gooner channel. Welcome back. We've got an upcoming game against Everton, and yes, you see another pretty face on the show. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of people on now. Look at this. I've got KayGee here from the football capital. Can you believe it? In the house today, makes his debut. How you going, KayGee? What's been going on, son?
Mate, I'm actually pleased to jump on the show. I'm getting an opportunity here to share my thoughts with the Aussie Gooner. So I'm definitely ready for it and ready to preview a game. So you know what, I've been keeping an eye closely on your Gunners. So, and I know we've spoken about it on the Football Capital as well. So ready to dig in, man, and really talk about this game and some interesting stuff that obviously we're going to talk about with both teams.
Oh yeah, man, definitely. I mean, look, Everton haven't had the last 5 games for Everton have been shocking, right? From memory, I think their last point came from the draw against Spurs. Apart from that, it's been losses end to end. I mean, mate, they got slapped by Liverpool, but I mean, everybody's getting slapped by Liverpool nowadays. You know what I mean? Me, you, everyone. I mean, Liverpool's just coming to people's houses, knocking on the door, and going, "Slap, fucking bastards," you know. But
they're giving everyone a hard time. But at the same time, Everton's not quite what everyone thinks they are, or what everyone thinks they should be.
Yeah, with the money spent, I mean, apparently they've spent, what was it, over 300 mil? I think.
It's some ridiculous.
And Rafa is talking about the players, the quality, and needing to spend more money. And I'm thinking, how much more money do you fucking want, mate? Like, do we have to give you 600 million for you to fucking get it right? Well, you buy one player shit, one player half decent, one player shit. Fuck, mate, you're a bit wasteful there, mate. You know, fucking hell.
You got to find the right resources too. Like, look, he's a little bit hard done by in the sense that they've had a bunch of injuries as well. But you got to do your homework on the players and their past, and before you bring them into the team and the club, and it's just there's a lot of heat now on Rafa and the club itself. Like you look at the lineup, you look at their squad, a semi decent squad.
Yeah,
compared to where they are right now, they shouldn't be there. If they had a fully fit team, and I just think from the beginning the whole Rafa move was the wrong one. Anyway, I don't see why he needed to take a job at Everton, but time will tell what's going to happen with him.
Definitely. I honestly believe that it's maybe, I hate to say this, but he might have hit his use-by date. Coaches do end up hitting the use-by date. Arsene Wenger, I think Jose Mourinho, Rafa Benitez, as they were great coaches in their time, guys. Wonderful coaches, but unfortunately, we can't hold on to nostalgia. When we're talking football, we're talking today, right now. We need the best coaches, the best players on the pitch controlling the game. Because if we don't have that, you know what you're going to get? What Everton's got right now. And what Arsenal have got right now. I mean, maybe not the best at the moment. Maybe the best gaffer we could get our hands on. Maybe a yes man. I'm not going to say no to that. But I can guarantee you one thing. If I had told Arsenal fans at the start of this season, guys, by this time, this season, blah, 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 you guys will be sitting in 5th or 6th. I'm pretty sure with the lineup that they'd say, yeah, I'm fair with that. I'm kind of all right with that. So I'm hearing a lot of crap from Arsenal fans, and I'm an Arsenal fan myself, that's thinking, we're not going to make top 4. We're not going to make top 4. Top 4, as I've said before, would be an overachievement. I don't know what you think, but I always said it was an overachievement. Top 6 is more, yeah, maybe, probably. If you know what I'm saying, KayGee. And look, it is what it is. Call it the way it's. That's the way I see it. If you disagree, by all means, tell me to shut the fuck up.
No, I think like if you look at any sort of prediction that happened before the season actually started, and just on the basis of how the recruitment happened prior to round 1, you would have the top 4 teams were your City, your Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea. Like, I think a lot of pundits would have done the exact same thing. Probably mixed up the order a little bit, but they would have put those 4 teams in that top 4 prediction. To see Arsenal where they are right now, I think quite comfortably it's what's probably a minimum expectation, right? That you're battling for the 5th and the 6th. If you get a top 4, yes, I agree. Overachievement.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you guys are sitting in a really good position considering your first three matches of the season, where everyone
Mm.
was already writing off Arsenal, but the true Arsenal fans knew, what was happening in terms of injuries, in terms of COVID, in terms of the recruitment that they were doing in pursuing younger players.
Mm.
Yeah, the question mark's always going to be on Mikel Arteta as to whether or not he's good enough to be an English Premier League manager, especially at a club like Arsenal, because I
Yeah.
still think that you guys are one of the biggest clubs. So yeah, I think where you guys are at now and the trajectory that you're on as well, you've lost games, but you've lost them to those other clubs that we've mentioned that should be sitting in the top four.
Precisely. I mean, they're losses that were to be expected when you look at our squad. The inexperience of the squad, okay, you're going to see this, guys. Nuno Tavares. Who knew who Nuno Tavares was before we signed him? Probably no one. Okay, guys? Everyone was singing Tomiyasu. I didn't. Tomiyasu. I'm going to fuck myself right here and say, I was like, he better not be the new Callum Chambers. I've said it. I'm calling myself out. Then the first game I saw him and I went, shit. He's not the new Callum Chambers. This guy makes Bellerin look like a fucking joke. But look, they're a young squad. We're going to expect mistakes. It's up to the manager to know when to deploy a Tomiyasu, when to deploy a Tavares in which games. So look, this game coming up against Everton, this is where I see Everton at the moment. They're playing 4-4-2. They're playing 4-4-1-1, looking very similar to us. They've got danger men, right? They've got Richard. They got Gray. Now, Gray is, for me, fucking on fire at the moment. And we got to watch out him. Andros Townsend, danger men. But I'm not really worried about much more Richarlison, you know what I mean? There's not much more there. I mean, if they had a Calvert-Lewin, that's when you'd say, hold your horses.
Yeah. Not just that, but they're in a rough patch of form, right? So they're not coming into this game in form. Whereas if you thought they were clicking, as the team was, really gelling well and they were high on confidence, then you'd be like, hey, look, whilst they're sitting where they normally sit somewhere between 8th and 10th, 12th, you'd be like, hey, it's still a danger game because if they come with the right attitude, they could do anything. I think Calvert-Lewin is the big one. Obviously, it's, you look at that team, he's probably their best player.
Yeah.
Has been their best player over the last couple of seasons. He's not playing. Richarlison, he's come back from injury from memory.
Yeah.
He did a couple of trips to represent Brazil here and there, but again, hasn't been informed. They had Rondon filling. They had Rondon filling in, right? So it's not like it's the Everton that you would expect with confidence to be able to take a point. I think Townsend is a key, right?
Yeah.
On his day, he's a really good player, right? Celebrating the way he did against United, doing the
that was the bodgy one, but man, that was bodgy.
Against Ronaldo. But you know what? Like on his day, and we've seen it in the past, he's hit crackers at Man City. He's hit crackers elsewhere. On his day, great. But I think this team is just so disjointed at the moment. May or may not have anything to do with the manager. I struggle with just Benitez and Everton being in the same sentence.
Yeah,
considering his past with Liverpool.
Yeah, man.
And I think the fans are offside. The fans are offside with that. So I think as a fan, if you're not with the manager, and you see him, if you see Benitez leave today as an Everton fan, I don't think anyone would complain.
No,
right?
No, they wouldn't because they don't want to see him there.
Correct. So from a fan perspective, you have no backing. The players aren't performing on the pitch. This is not an Everton side where if you went to Everton and played them, you'd be shit scared about the fans getting on top of you. The players are in form, gelling. There's none of that happening. No. It's Everton label, but it's probably a Norwich performance.
Yeah, mate. And look, this is where I'm looking at Everton and saying to myself, we can get to them. There's going to be battles on the pitch, but I think one of the battles is going to be Pickford-Ramsdale. Now, I'm pretty sure Pickford's going to want to put a shift in here because this up-and-coming goalkeeper is looking, I mean, so far, he's looking half decent, even though, look, don't get me wrong, he's conceded goals, but it's not like many of them. He can't be blamed for many of the goals that he has conceded so far. Yeah. So this is where anyone that's looking at goalkeepers, look how many goals he's conceded. That's fine. I do that too. But then I go back and look at the goals that were conceded and say, let me see how they were conceded before I say he's shit. Now, that's like David De Gea. Look how many goals he's conceded. Yeah, and look how many goals he's saved with his foot. But anyway, I'm saying so.
And the back line that's in front of them, right?
Precisely, the support they've got. And that's where I think Pickford is struggling. His back line isn't wonderful. And this is where I think he's going to try and show up in this game. But I don't know. I reckon he's going to try and have that Buffon style, he's going to try and do a Buffon on us on this and just do everything he can to stop everything to say, hey, look, I'm still the man. I just don't think he can handle us in this game. I don't reckon he will. I think we're going to have him on this. I really do.
Look, I agree to the extent that if you're just talking about English goalkeepers and, trying to prove something to Gareth Southgate, then you know what? There's a lot of pressure on this game to see which one of these two lads are going to perform. If I was going just based on form, just strictly on form, the next game I'd be putting Ramsdale in, right? Because again, whilst conceding the goals that he's conceded, they were conceded against some really top teams in the league.
Yeah, man. Right? Liverpool, fuck me dead.
To the England setup, you're not going to concede those goals in the England setup, right? Or at least you'll be filled with a lot more confidence in a way.
Yeah.
And mind you, just a shout out to Ben White, he's come the goods. He's worth every penny that you spent on him, right? So, Pickford, he's going to have to put in a really, really big shift. I just don't think, again, collectively as a team, they're going to be able to hold you guys out.
No, I don't think so either.
I know United leaked goals, but you still put 2 past United, and that was on your off day.
No,
right?
Exactly. I was saying it the other day.
Going to Everton on an on day.
Yeah. See, I said it the other day. I was saying it to a mutual friend of ours, Prime. I said to Prime, I said, if I took the back 4 from Arsenal and gave it to United right now, United are top 4 guaranteed. Not with Tavares, with Tierney. Yeah, guaranteed you guys would just go up there. Your defense would be solid. You could have De Gea in the back. You'd have no fucking problems whatsoever. You'd just be walking through teams.
Yeah, I mean, look, United have their own problems, but it just speaks to how well that back 4 is now gelled for Arsenal. And the problem is, I don't think Everton have goals in them, right? And their defense is shaky. So, I'm predicting I'm not going to say a big win, but I'm predicting a more comfortable win. As in, I think Arsenal will control the game the way they want to. Whereas opposed to the other night against United, it probably didn't go according to plan.
The tennis game. But I think, it was tennis.
It was a lot of back and forth, and I think maybe that played to United in their favour. Whereas this game, I don't think that's going to happen. I really think that Arsenal's going to control it. I think you don't know what the situation is with Saka in terms of his injury, but if he can get a few more minutes, I think that'll be a positive for you guys. But at the same time, you've got a strong enough team to go out and do the job. Like if I look at the lineups,
precisely,
the depth is what you've got over Everton, 1,000,000%. Your issue, Laka or Auba, or both.
See now you hit that. Now I've been talking. I've been on the Armory once or twice now, and I pulled out a lineup that I got some shit for, not from the Armory, but from others. My predicted lineup here. Now, feel me on this. And look, I want you to be yay or nay. And I don't think it's going to happen, guys. Because remember, I said, Arteta won't play a 4-4-2. He's a fucktard. Then he did it. Anyway. So, I'm going to call this lineup. I remember when I said it and he did. I get the mother. And then he played Tavares. I go, shit, you played Tavares a slap. So, you bastard. I want my money. So, I sat there and I thought to myself, what do I want to see in this game? And why do I want to see it? So a lot of guys are going to say, oh, well, we're going to have to play Auba, we're going to have to play this. We don't have to do anything. I honestly want, and feel me on this, our backline not to change much, but Tavares off the pitch, not because he's a bad player, no, because I need Tierney on. These are 2 different types of backs, guys. And I have one that I could use for an attacking type of game. I've got one that can play a bit more balanced and more defensive. Tierney needs minutes, so when we play bigger teams, we can put him on there and be a defensive winger, or a defensive wing back. Now, in the middle of the park, everyone's saying Odegaard's our number 10. Odegaard is not a number 10. Do you see that number behind me? Number 8. He's always been a number 8 and will always be a number 8. And I don't care what anyone says. You can see it. He hasn't got them.
Too, right?
He wears 8 as well. And I looked at him and I go, if you he just needs to put a bit more weight on, and he's playing that position. Odegaard hits the bench. And my number 10 is actually my number 10. I want to put Smith Rowe in a centre because everybody knows, where does Smith Rowe go? He plots along from the wing, the left wing, and makes himself to the centre. So I say, well, if that's where you want to be naturally, Merry fucking Christmas, because that's where you're scoring your goals anyway. If I chuck Smith Rowe in the middle, right? Saka, I'm going to say I'd like him on, but I don't think he will be on because he didn't look great in the game against you guys. He didn't look ready. So let's not try and pull an injury on him. I say Martinelli comes on because he has to come on. I say we're going to...
He's on fire.
He is, isn't he? And Pepe comes on. Now, I know it's why Pepe. Why not? And then I put, you guessed it, Lacazette. Why do I put Lacazette on KayGee? Let me tell you why. Because his link-up play is that much better. He holds up the ball better. And if I've got two wingers that are cutting in, how important is it to have a number 10 who can pass the ball, a striker who's strong and he's got link-up play, he can actually pass the ball? How many more goals are we going to score that way? How much more effective will Arsenal be that way? This is Everton. Why not gamble? What do we got to lose?
Yeah.
One substitution changes everything. Back to where it was. Back to where it was.
I agree with the gamble. If you're going to do it, you do it now.
Yeah.
And I don't think at any point during the game, even if, let's say, Everton were to take the lead, it's still not out of reach for you guys.
No way.
I think that's where you in terms of your gamble, I think it's almost like hedging your bet. It's like, I'll gamble today because I know that, if shit goes, if shit hits the fan, we've got time to recover.
Yeah.
Obviously, depending on how late it goes in the game.
Yeah, of course.
The biggest concern for any team that's going in as a favorite or going in as a stronger team is the longer it stays at nil all, or the longer
they come down.
They're trying to get a goal back. Yeah, and you've got to. I think that, like you just mentioned those three names: Pepe, Martinelli, Lacazette. Dude, they're front three starters in, probably with the exceptions of your maybe Liverpool, maybe your exceptions of your City as well.
United even look, these are the teams.
Maybe
United, City, Chelsea, right? And Liverpool. Those guys are not going to get a look in. And let's be fucking honest. Let's not be nice about it.
Starters.
Not starters. They'll be there, but they won't be starters. Yeah. But in many other teams,
starters for any other team.
Yeah, they would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and that's not even mentioning Aubameyang, right? And that's just these three guys.
Who's that guy? I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him for a while. I didn't think he still plays for the team. It's like Juan Mata. He's still on the bench for Man United. No one believes it, but he's still there.
Don't get me wrong. He's class, right? When he's in form,
he's got problems.
He's scary. Right?
Look, he's got problems. And this is, I'm sorry to cut you off, but look, as a manager, right? You've got players not performing. There's a lot of reasons why a player can't perform. What do you reckon, KayGee? And it could be he's just out of form. He's got personal problems. It's all these things affecting him. I say he's not done. I say he needs a break and we need to figure out what is troubling him. And we manage him, KayGee. We sit him down. We say, it's okay. You've always got a place here. This is home. We just want to do what's right for you. Sort him out, and then he will sort out his performances on the pitch. That's what I would do as a manager. I don't want to put him back on there and put the pressure on him from the fans to say he's shit, like me, okay? And then to put the pressure on him every time I'm the captain and I'm not performing. He looks himself in the mirror, he smiles, but he's not happy. All these things keep bringing him lower and lower, demoralising himself.
I think it's a perfect opportunity too, because it's a quicker turnaround in terms of the game, because there was a Friday game and now it's a Tuesday game, and then you're going to have another game, following week. Perfect opportunity to just say, hey, dude, have a break, have a seat. We're going to go with somebody else, or hey, you're starting off the bench, whatever. I think even as a United fan, like, I don't know what this thing is about your captain can't get dropped.
Oh my
if your
God.
Captain's out of form, just like every other player, drop the bastard. Just drop him.
Armband someone else. Yeah.
Yeah. Because then what you're actually saying to everybody else in the team is that no matter what, no matter how they perform, they're always going to be there. And the frustration will dig in with the rest of the squad.
Yeah.
I can tell you, from a, I'd ask you the same question, but from a United perspective, it's Bruno. I think Bruno's like that natural captain. Should
I didn't want to
Maguire not
say
be
it.
there?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, who would be there for Arsenal though? Like, would you give it to Laka? Would you give it to Smith Rowe? Is he too young? Like, who's
Gabriel.
that person?
Gabriel.
Gabriel, yeah, solid
Gabriel
defender,
is
right?
solid, and you know what? You hear him barking orders. And the thing is, he's young. I'd like to give it to Lacazette, but the plans are not to keep Lacazette, and I don't like that. I think we should offer Lacazette a contract. I think we should see him off to 33 and say, "That's it, mate. You're done." And that means on the bench, on the start, whatever they ask. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe he wants to start.
Even more. Why not keep his experience? Look at the likes of Cavani here,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah,
keep him. He can be a club legend.
exactly.
You know?
I mean, right now we're linked with so many strikers. We're linked with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who I rate, but I don't see us spending £70 million. So at the moment, Lacazette's not being offered anything. But I think if he was, he would be my first choice. But he would have to start. If he's not going to be starting, then it'd have to be Gabriel, because Gabriel's solid. His communication with our goalkeeper is sublime, but that's the same with all the back four, but he's sublime. And he commands the back four. Ben White has gotten better standing next to Gabriel because he's starting to look like a mirror image of him, but just better on the ball. So I think Gabriel would be my choice, mainly because I think he's got his head screwed on. He knows how to drive, and he doesn't mind a bit of argy-bargy too. You need that in a captain.
You need that from yeah, you definitely need that. So when Auba went off the other day, did he hand it over to Gabriel? Or who did he hand it over to?
When Auba handed it off, I think he handed it off. I think it was handed to, because Auba came off. I think, who did he hand it to? Wow.
Because it's interesting to understand the manager's thoughts.
Yeah, I can't.
Because there would have been a plan, right? There would have
Yeah.
been a plan. If Auba comes off, hey, they know internally, hand over the armband type thing.
Yeah, I can't tell you.
It would have been really interesting. Yeah, it would have been really interesting to see, who that might have been, because that's obviously something that's pre-planned. And I didn't really think about this the other day.
Yeah.
Watching the United game, but there was a couple of pundits that I was watching, getting some feedback on the game, and I couldn't understand why Auba comes off. Right, I know he's out of form, but why not go with two strikers to try and get that, to try and equalize against United? Don't know what your thoughts are. Martinelli was on fire, right? That game, completely agree.
Yep.
I just thought I can't remember who was it. Nketiah?
Nketiah. Now that was a wrong move. Nketiah should have been should not have been on the field. Nketiah is not signing for this club. He rejected a contract. Nketiah shouldn't be on the bench.
He's on his way out.
He shouldn't even be on the bench, right? See you later. Pepe's on the bench, and everyone's sitting there going, "Why do you like Pepe?" I don't love him, but he's got a left boot. Now listen to this. Saka came on instead of Pepe. Tavares got a ball into your box, where I know every United fan went, shit. It landed straight to Saka. If that was Pepe, where's it going?
That's the Fred block. I remember the Fred block. But
he touched, and Fred went, suck this, watch me do this, and it was clean. But because Saka wasn't fit, so I really do believe that Nketiah didn't need to come on, right? Nketiah did not have to be on that friggin' pitch. It didn't have to happen. It should have been Pepe to come on that pitch with Lacazette, and Aubameyang could have come off. And I think the reason why Aubameyang comes off is because to show that, I think it's two reasons. To show the team that he's spent, to show the team that, hey, look, he's not performing. And I know that the heads had dropped because every time he'd get on the ball, you can see the players' body's language. Like even Partey with that free kick. Did you remember that free kick who blocked it, KayGee? Who blocked that free kick for you? Who was it?
Auba.
Was it Auba? I think it was. And did you see Partey going, the fuck? The fuck, man.
Like
the fuck. What?
Getting away.
Dude,
you know exactly what I'm doing.
Supposed to drop your head. You're supposed to be in the way of the goalkeeper, not me, you tard. You're the captain.
Yeah.
So these are the things that are going to play on players' minds. And this is why everyone goes, well, the captain's not important. It is. You either lead by example or you're hard. Or you come in there hard and you keep on driving them. But look, I think
do you think if he starts against Everton that might not put you guys in the best position to win the game?
It'll demoralise the team. I don't care how cool he is and how much he's liked, right? I could go to Arsenal. I could go to the Arsenal dressing room right now, have a chat with them, and I guarantee every single fucking player there will like me, right? Plain and fucking simple. That don't mean I'm going to be the captain to start in the game. Plain and simple. It's not about who's popular in a dressing room. It's who can do the fucking job. That's it. He can't do the job right now. So I think if he starts this game is going to be and look, hopefully if he does start the game, he starts scoring some goals and gets back into form. I'd love to be wrong, but I just don't see it.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's
I mean,
just me calling a spade.
everyone wishes that on their strikers, right? Everyone
Of
wishes their
course,
strikers,
I don't want
hit more
Aubameyang to be bad.
strides. Yeah.
I want him to be wonderful.
You want him to be Aubameyang, right? You want him to be that guy that people fear, and it's one of those things, right? The psyche of a player,
Of course.
especially a striker. It takes one ball. It takes one goal. The ball just needs to cross that line, and everything changes all of a sudden. So it's a really weird psyche of a player, but that's what strikers are, man. That's why they always hand over a penalty to the striker who's out of form. It's like, just bag this one, just put it in back
And
of the
then
net,
we'll roll.
and build your confidence. Yeah, and build your confidence, right? So it'll be interesting, man. Like, I hope. I actually like Lacazette. Like, I really do
So
like
do
him as
I
a
like him too.
striker.
His energy.
As an as a opposing fan, if I see Lacazette, like, if I see Auba or Lacazette, I shit myself, right? But like, I don't think Lacazette. I think he's become the forgotten man, in a sense, and where I remember when Arsenal were attacking and Auba and Lacazette were in sync, like, just them celebrating goals together, just them two linking up. If you can get that, along with Martinelli, the way he's playing, and him being that force, because he ended up switching sides against United. I think he started on the right and ended up on the left, and he gave nightmares to Alex Telles and Dalot. And he can do that to Everton. So
Easily.
interesting to see what the predictions are going to be for the lineup.
Look, to be honest, I can see this one if they go with the lineup I'm talking about to go a 2-0 to Arsenal. If they don't go with my lineup and they go with the shit that we had before, I can see a 1-0 to Arsenal. I don't see us scoring a million goals. I don't know about you.
The one thing I can agree on is the nil in terms of Everton. That they don't have what it takes, especially against the defense that you guys currently have. So I'm definitely predicting a shutout. But it's just going to be about how many goals. Because if you guys get on a roll on, it could be anything. But I think again it'll be comfortable. So maybe a 2-0.
Oh, there you go. There's one more little thing I want to say to people, right? I want everyone to remember one thing. These players that are playing for this club get paid to play for this club, okay? You see these shirts I got behind me? Okay, I love these players, every single one of them. Ian Wright left Arsenal. I didn't stop following Arsenal. Didn't stop loving Ian Wright, but I didn't stop following Arsenal. We have to understand one little thing. Aubameyang, as much as we like Aubameyang, remember, this is who we love. If he doesn't perform for this team, then unfortunately, as much as we like him, he has to sit the fuck down. Okay? Because end of the day, it's about having more love for this badge than having love for the friggin' employee that we have on the fucking field. And I know it sounds fucking harsh, but he's getting paid. We don't owe anyone anything. Anything at all.
That's the reality.
That's the reality of things. And I'm going to call a spade a spade. I hate when people say, we owe someone. No, if they were coming out and playing like Tony, if it was a Tony Adams who came in and signed the fucking contract without fucking reading it, we owe him everything. Everything. But no, Aubameyang came in and he wheeled and dealed. He took his time with the contract. He got his top dollar. And I'm happy he did because he deserved it. Right? He did that. He made the best deal for himself. Right now, he's not the best deal for Arsenal. Guys, remember that. Because I had enough of people saying, you know what he did last season? You know what Thierry Henry did? I could think about Thierry Henry all the time and I could be living in La La Land, guys. So fuck. Relax.
Yep.
All that.
It's all, yeah. I mean, look, the thing is, he negotiated his way, like every player does.
As they do, and they should.
When they're in form, right? Because when you're in form, everyone's like, shit, well, yeah, he's worth whatever, what is it, 300,000 or whatever he ended up getting per week. Whatever it is, regardless. But he negotiated at the right time. So as a fan of a club, your club doesn't, when he's out of form, they don't go and renegotiate the contract.
No, they don't. They still got to pay.
They still fork out the dollars, right? So, totally agree with you there, Steve, in that regard, because now he's got to show the love back to the club. And look, he's not a bad player.
No,
right?
He's just not in form. That's all.
Out of form.
So we have to act accordingly.
But he needs to do something about it. That's where he's. It's difficult because you want him to do well, but you don't want him to overdo it. Because sometimes if you overdo it, you overthink. That's what stops you from getting a goal. Where you normally shoot on instinct and you decide to pass.
Second guess.
You're like, yeah, and it makes it worse. It actually becomes, that roll-on effect, and you're
not natural
that's
anymore.
not what we. Yeah, it's not natural. That is not what you expect from a striker. I hate it when a striker passes the ball inside the box. Unless it's a
Oh
clear,
God.
unless it's a clear, I'm
Yeah.
cutting it across the keeper for a tap in. Then why else are you making that pass? You've got to be shooting.
That's right.
And it's just the question marks out on Aubameyang's performances. How long will it take before he hits his stride? But no doubt he's worth every penny. When he's
In
in
form,
form,
he's wonderful.
you take him and drop him into, like, imagine him. City need a striker.
I was just
The
about to
face of
say that.
Aubameyang,
Mm.
right?
Hmm.
And you did a bit of a merry-go-round. Everton, sell you guys Calvert-Lewin. Aubameyang goes to City. Everyone will be like, the best striker in the league is Aubameyang because he'll get that. He'll it just naturally they build to goals,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
They're a machine.
What they do is they start a game and they're doing this and they're just doing this and doing this and doing this and they just keep squeezing and then they squeeze to the point where there's no juice left from the other team and then they say, watch this, and they pull you apart, and that's City. And they don't have a striker. And they don't it's fucking horrible. But
They don't have a striker, but that
they don't
just
need
goes
one.
to show that they don't have a permanent captain either.
No, but you see, the thing is, they've got all that. Look, think of it this way: when you've got all that fucking talent, and you've got Riyad Mahrez sitting on the fucking bench, Riyad Mahrez gets in.
That's my point.
What the fuck?
Pep's managed that really well, right? Like,
phenomenal.
he's like, okay, I don't have a standout captain. Like Gundogan wears the armband, but then he doesn't play every game.
No.
He rotates his squad. They're sitting top of the ladder, considering the results this morning.
Yeah.
And he's just managed it accordingly. And I just wish that your club and my club took the same approach around captaincy because it becomes a level playing field, and the respect is out there for everybody to see, for all players, right?
Definitely, bro.
But again, I think similar to the analogy you just gave, I think that's what you guys are going to do to Everton. It's just going to be slowly and until you guys strangle them, because they don't have what it takes to get a result.
No, I don't think so either. And look, let's hope for a win for Arsenal. We need to bounce back. Look, KayGee, thank you for coming on the show. Honestly, I really value your opinions. I think everybody that listened to this show will say, "Wow!" Like the in depth that we've gone into in this game, the back and forth. I think it's wonderful. I really hope to have you back on again. I really do. So we'll definitely collab again,
my friend. Anytime, a pleasure being on the show. My debut, I'm pretty happy. So,
oh man, you came in friggin' strong, dude. You came in strong, man. Nice, well done, bro.
Hopefully we'll get the 2-0 for you.
Yeah, if KayGee does that, he's on every fucking time now. Yeah. All right. So guys, look, guys, everybody that's out there, look, thanks for your comments. Thanks for your likes. Thanks for your shares. Seriously, the channel's growing, but I do it for different reasons. But I really do appreciate everyone commenting, everyone subscribing, and passing this on. If you like what you're seeing, pass it on. But look, from the Aussie Gooner, KayGee, and everyone in Australia, it's Uru, guys. Uru.